Here we are. Welcome to Going Live, how to make a pizza with Lot 100 and Chef Bubbles, who's just run away and left me all by myself. Today we're going to go through a few of the little cheats and tips and tricks that we have here at Lot 100 to get the best result out of our doughs. Tom spent a very long time perfecting his recipes. Oh, our pizza kits. Sorry, pardon me. Just to give you a little bit of an insight as to what you can do with these things at home, and maybe even a couple of beverages that we suggest to pair them up with. Maybe even a sneaky look at one of our new releases, which is very exciting. So over to you, Thomas.
Beautiful. Welcome to the Lot 100 pizza section, as we call it up here, Little Italy. We'll go through a couple of little things today. So make a couple of pizzas, and we'll also show you how to shape dough. The pizza dough that we use up here is a slow fermented dough. So we make the dough and then leave it for a minimum of 48 hours, and then we can use it. So we've got the bowls that have been placed into the container 2 days ago, and then they'll be the ones that we're using this afternoon.
So feel free to ask us questions, guys. I'm actually just getting up the comments at the moment, and we will try and answer them as best as we can. Yeah.
So we'll start by shaping dough. I might get Sam to move the camera just slightly. So this is a dough that we've made this afternoon, and I'm just going to give you a quick go through of how we shape it. So we cut it, stretch it out, and then we weigh each ball at 260 grams.
I might just flip the camera.
So we've got our ball there, just our ball of dough. So then basically we just fold it back on each other underneath. So you've got a nice smooth dough on top. Flip it over, give it a little pinch. We do that so when the ball relaxes in the fridge, it doesn't create a hole on the bottom, okay? So then we just place that into the container, and then as I showed you before, end product, fresh product.
So what's happened? What's exactly happened there, Tom?
So basically, we've got in essence a slow fermented dough. So we find that if you have a sort of 12-inch pizza, get that sort of bloated feeling that you obviously don't get from our pizzas. So if you sit down and eat a Domino's or whatever, then you might get that really bloated feeling. But with our pizzas, they're really light on the toppings as well. You don't want to overload it. So obviously we have to get it from this bench into that wood oven in a refill manner.
And what temperature is the oven?
We run it at 400 degrees.
That's a quick pizza.
That is a very quick pizza. So traditionally, a pizza cooks within about 90 seconds. So yeah, we may as well start on a pizza right now.
Yeah? Start with the classics. What do you reckon?
Margarita to start.
I reckon. Come all the way to Little Italy.
So here we've got a spolverdina, which is it's a spreading flour. It's a little bit coarser. You can use a fine semolina at home if you wanted to. So take out the bowl, give it a little dust. So the kits that we've got at home have 4 of these. So basically make a little mound of flour, place it down, just start pressing it out, nice and light. So you basically just want to press down as opposed to press and then stretch out. So just pressing onto the back of your hand, another little mound of flour, And then you can start using more of your hand. Making sure you leave a little bit of a lip around the edge to a 12-inch pizza. At this point, we want to knock off the excess flour and then onto your bench. So, we've just received an order.
No.
It's just a sourdough. Beautiful. Alright, so we'll start with a margarita. So a spoon and a half to 2 spoons of sauce. As I said before, just be careful not to overload the pizza. A little bit of fior di latte, cow's milk mozzarella. You can use buffalo mozzarella, but this is included in our pack. Alright.
Might change my angle here, Tom.
No worries. So, straight underneath. So, obviously, if you're using this at home, you turn up your oven to the highest temperature it could go, and either use a pizza stone or put it onto a tray. Okay? So, into the oven we go. So, the leading edge on the bricks, push and then pull back.
And we wait. And we wait.
And we wait.
So Tom, tell us a bit about your pizza story.
Pizza story.
Yeah. How did it start?
I own a pizza restaurant in the city, Pizza and Mozzarella Bar on Perry Street. So that's where we sort of started the journey in the wood oven pizza race. So if you have a look here, you can actually see it bubbling very quickly. So what we do at this point is give it a spin.
Keeping it on the same spot.
Absolutely. So keep it on the same spot, because if you take it off that spot, like you can imagine the pizza onto the floor, it loses about 40 degrees. So if you keep it on that spot, you can, it doesn't, if you move it off that spot, it's more likely to burn the base. Okay, done. Just like that. And over to the box.
Look at those lovely leopard spots.
A little bit of fresh basil. Extra virgin olive oil. There we go.
Voila. Do you know?
Now do we want to make another one?
Yep. What's the next?
Oh.
We recommend this one. I think would be good with a lager.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Alright. So, grab another dough.
Feel free to ask us any questions, guys, that you have. We've had a lot of good feedback, but also it's not the regular way that you would stretch out a dough. We do not recommend you use a rolling pin because it can make it a little bit dense.
This is another way, a little bit quicker way to do the dough. So knocking off that excess flour before you put it back on the bench. Sauce. So now we're just going to do a spicy number. So we've got salami. And we've got some andouille here. So this is a soft, smoky, spicy salami from the south of Italy. So just break that up into little pieces. Pop that on. And then we'll finish this with some chili oil afterwards.
That's my kind of pizza. So this one here, we would recommend maybe with our new release. So today, ready for Easter, we've just released our Evil Archies, a red IPA. It is the close cousin of our original brew, which was our red ale, Archie's Red Ale, named after a close friend of Ewan, our head brewer. This little number is fresh off the canning line, but I think that over the coming week it will become this beautiful multi-hoppy red ale. At the moment it's still really nice and floral and just jumping out of the can and into my mouth, ready to go with my chili pizza.
It's almost ready.
Cheers. You want one?
Wouldn't say no.
Wouldn't say no?
Wouldn't say no. So we've got this out, fresh from the oven, into the box.
That is my kind of pizza.
So we've got some chili oil that we've got here that we made up, and it's actually for sale up here as well. So a little bit of a drizzle on top.
Snoop Dogg for drizzle.
And we'll get our flour.
Thanks for that, Nat. We will definitely look into that. Look at that. Good work, Tom.
Pizza.
It's gonna burn, but I don't care. So,
Cold beer.
cheers. Make sure we practice our social distancing. Oh, what else we got here? Thanks, Tracy. James, you know how to flirt.
Don't you want to eat on camera?
No. So, what's the difference between buffalo mozzarella and the Florida latte?
Basically, it's just a cow's milk version of cow's milk mozzarella is the Florida latte, and then you got the buffalo mozzarella. But yeah, I mean, it definitely has the same characteristics. So yeah.
And I guess maybe we should go through some of the questions we get at Lot 100.
Yep.
And maybe explain some of the different terms that we use that we take for granted. So, I mean, I'd start with our Bianco, maybe.
Yeah, a white base. So everything I've done today has sauce. So all it would be is our Bianco, which is just cheese and oil, and then you do your toppings on that. That's actually one of my favourite ways to have a pizza. Is actually without sauce. But these are obviously equally as beautiful.
Me too, to avoid my heartburn.
Beautiful.
What else have we got there? What about the style of pizza? What does that refer to?
Well, it's definitely. I mean, obviously, it's traditional wood oven pizza. So I don't really want to specify different areas and things like that. But yeah, we definitely stick to some principles. I know there are some places that are certified, but yeah, it's my style of pizza.
Your style of my style of pizza too, actually.
Definitely.
We got any more questions here, guys? Feel free to fire them through. We might cut up this margarita. What do you reckon? Where'd that cutter go? There we go.
So I suppose what we were saying before about the style of dough, it's not your standard add your yeast, add everything, let it rise up, knock it back, use it that night. It's very much that slow fermented dough. So it gives you gives you a good feeling, I think, when you eat it. So it's quite different, and obviously it is a little bit harder at home if you don't have the wood oven. But by using those sort of techniques that I was saying with the stone or on a tray, preferably a stone, get it as hot as you can, and straight onto that, like we cook straight onto the bricks in the wood oven. So, yeah, that's the best way you can replicate it at home. So.
And keep it simple too. I mean, that's something.
Oh, the toppings, yeah. I wouldn't go over 4 toppings on a pizza, definitely.
Yeah. And 5 pieces of 4 toppings. A couple of Tom's rules.
I mean, the biggest thing with the toppings is actually getting it from the bench into the oven. And if you've got it overloaded, you'll find that it'll stick on the bottom. You won't be able to pick it up with the peel, and it'll just go everywhere. Sometimes you might get a hole in it, and if you get a hole in it, it's pretty much shot, because once it hits the bottom, the cheese will melt out. You won't be able to spin it. You ruin your oven, and it's just a nightmare. So, yeah.
I've done that.
I'm sure you have.
I ruined your oven, I think, at one point.
Yeah, definitely. So, but I mean, we use red gum in our oven, so it gives a nice sort of longer, drawn out burn, and it's just nice. So we've got. Can you just bring it across? So we've got the fire on the right hand side. So basically you want to get that. I know some people say, "Oh, put the fire all around the back," but you can imagine the heat coming from the fire across the top of the oven, hitting the other side, and then dragging you back across the floor. That convection. So if you had it at the back, straight over the dome, straight out the front door. So you'll use up more wood, and you won't be able to maintain that temperature that you would want to. So don't be afraid of the heat. Like it's just a matter. It is a matter of getting used to cooking at 400. But if you've got the right dough and everything sort of works, then it's good to go. So I mean, obviously with the pizza kits we've got, you can do exactly the same thing at home. So if you've got a wood oven, but keeping it simple, I think, is the best scenario. So,
Shall we make another pizza?
Sure.
What's next? Al Bianco?
Yeah. Little mushroom.
Oh. So why do we press and not roll?
If you let me show you one. So if you go like that, stretch out, you'll find you can see a really thin spot in the middle, and then around the outside, it's a bit thicker. So
yep.
The thinner you make it, the harder it will be to manage. You'll find sometimes people do that, and you get a hole, it rips, and basically you just have to throw it in the bin at that point, because fixing a hole is quite hard.
You little
mound.
You've done that before?
Just a couple of times.
Just a couple of times?
It's under the bench.
No pizza sauce, Al Bianco, just cheese.
So here we've got some provolone. Pop that on. Just a little mushroom mix we make. So roasted mushrooms, oil, salt, thyme.
Oh.
making sure you maintain that temperature as you're going through. Find that it drops down a little bit.
Sorry, Erica. No staffies. I need a docket.
So you can also put a little bit of like a small piece of wood on the fire just to give you light inside the oven as well. So this is obviously a spinner. I use the black one as a peel to put it in the oven.
Whoa. Whoa.
And then we use the spinner to spin the pizza. So you can imagine a pizza there all the way around. So it can fit about 8 pizzas at a time. So using the spinner to get in and around the pizzas.
One-handed. Now you're just showing off. Yeah, so we're talking a bit about your pizza story.
Pizza story.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously it started with mixed mozzarella, and then that was about 8, 9 years, and clean up here at lot 100 since I opened. So yeah, just a wonderful way of cooking. So with wood oven, not just pizzas but anything.
What else do we cook in this wood oven?
We do our baked gnocchi. Yeah. And obviously, just like you can do a lot of slow braises and things like that with meats, some pieces, suckling pig.
Yeah. The sourdough we've got in our grocery boxes as well. Fresh sourdough is made every morning to go in the brekkie box.
Let's see how we uncle.
Whoa.
Got a pizza box now?
Oh, let me just grab one. Here's one I prepared earlier, Tom.
A little bit of oil. Beautiful.
Ready for stuffies.
Ready for stuff. So, I mean, as you touched on that before about bread, beautiful thing about the oven is we can shut it off tonight, and the next morning we'll come in and it'll still be 270 odd degrees. So we bake our sourdough, so we fit about 20 loaves at a time. So yeah, and they come out, as you can see over here. Lovely.
And we cook this fresh every morning. Shannon's become our master bread maker, hiding in the corner. And I'm in trouble. We'll do one more pizza and then let's mix it up. Maybe why don't we do a calzone? Oh, maybe not.
Why don't we just put pineapple on the pizza?
No. I've been asking. No, I haven't.
You can see how soft that dough is. I won't make a calzone, but I'll just show you. I mean, the dough is just gets to a point where it's just beautiful to work with. So it obviously has a higher moisture content. So you find that it's just a lot easier to work with. So especially because we need to press it out. So not just use a rolling pin. So you find that it actually stretches out really easy. A lot of people get daunted by the fact that you're hand stretching, but it is actually quite simple to stretch out. If it's come out to 20, 30 minutes out of the fridge, and then hand stretch it from there. You find with a lot of pizza dough, you're rolling it out with a rolling pin. stretches back. You're just overworking the gluten, and you don't want to be doing that. So, fantastic.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. It's been really good. We're going to do a few of these to try and give you some stimulation during isolation, and we will be pairing it up with different beverages over time. So thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you up here picking up a Lot 100 grocery box and maybe something to drink at the same time, but don't have it on the premises. Thank you.
Thank you.